Wetongalam, wetongalami, wetongalami, wetongalam, wetongalami, 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 wetongalam, wetongalami, wetongalami, haugili, wetongalami, wetongalam, wetongalami, wetongalami, wetongalam, wetongalami, 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 wetongalam. Thokozani, Thokozani Royals, Thokozani Family, Ndawe Shewe, Kamagwini, Tobela, Muribwanji, Habari Sana, Nangadef, Kedu, Ninjani. How is everybody doing? Tobela, Dumelang. I see a whole bunch of people. Guys, please tap the screen. Let's get up in the algorithm. And then we are going to talk about the new season that we have come into. It's probably going to be more than just one video on this amazing, this goddess, Sekhmet. We are going to be talking about Sekhmet today. The season of Sekhmet actually started on the 23rd of May and runs all the way through to the 22nd of June. And then on the 23rd of June, we introduce the next season. So we are in the season of Sekhmet, and we need to talk about Sekhmet. There are many different aspects of Sekhmet. She's actually quite complex as a principle or a deity. She's one of the most important deities in the Kemetic pantheon because of her role. So when we speak about Sekhmet, actually, we're talking about the daughter of Ra, the sun god, and she was often depicted as a lioness or a woman with the head of a lioness, symbolizing her role as fierce protector. According to myth, Sekhmet was created by Ra after people in the land had been doing things that are not in harmony or in accordance with Ma'at. And so when he saw what had happened, it is said that it was actually Heteru who shapeshifted and transformed into Sekhmet and went on a rampage, just devouring all the humans. And like, she went on the rampage. So the story is that she was so out of control in her rage for what the people had done in her father's land that they had to sedate her with alcohol. They had to sedate her with a drink so that when she woke up, she had calmed down, because she had almost annihilated the whole kingdom, basically the whole empire. So that is the mythological background to the energy of Sekhmet. She's described in many ways, and one of the things she's known for is, of course, whenever you see Sekhmet, the pictures of Sekhmet a lot of the times are kind of gory. It's like Sekhmet looks fierce and Sekhmet looks scary. And she's usually shown as a body of a woman with a lion head, and there's blood dripping, and in one hand she's carrying a sword that's also blood dripping, and I think in another hand sometimes she carries the skull of somebody. Yeah, but it's just pretty fierce. But when we talk about Sekhmet, she's known, again, like I said, she's a warrior. She's known as a fierce protector. She's also a healer and a purifier. And if you look at all these things, they are actually one and the same thing, right? I've described various aspects, but if you look at it, it's one and the same thing. Why do I say that? In order to heal, sometimes you have to cause pain. Surgeons know this, right? If you have a boil, what needs to happen? We have to cut that boil and squeeze out the pus so that it can begin to heal. The same can be said for your emotional wounds, right? You got to pull the scab away. You got to go in there and you've got to experience some pain, mostly if it's trauma and everything else, by reliving those experiences so that you can heal them, right? So that is Sekhmet, purification. Purification is to remove things that no longer serve. So when you go through a healing process, it's also a purification process, right? Protector. The protective aspect of Sekhmet is that she protects those who are in accordance with Ma'at. She protects those who are in Ma'at. And she's a purifier by removing things that are not in Ma'at. She slashes and burns because she's also an embodiment of fire, right? Sekhmet burns. That's one of the ways in which she purifies. She cauterizes. She burns through things. And now this burning that happens leaves a certain purity. For example, I've done this before where I've shared the example like in the savanna grasslands. This is the time of year where people burn fires to burn the old grass from the previous season. It's winter now. The grass is dry. So they burn the old grass. If you travel around, you will often see that the land looks black because there's been a lot of burning of grass. Why? Is to allow for when the rainy season comes, September onwards, then new grass can come through. Right? So she serves as a purifier of the land. And also remember, when that old grass is burnt, it creates an ash which becomes fertilizer for the new grass that is going to come up. So you see how cyclical everything is. And Sekhmet is very, very important because even within yourself, if you look at your own physical self, if you have any ailments within your body right now, any ailment within your spirit right now, you want to invoke Sekhmet because her purifying, healing energy can heal you, right? So, very important to understand this energy of Sekhmet. She's not an energy to be played with. I do know that there are a lot of strange cults out there, that are Sekhmet cults and Sekhmet society, where they do really dangerous things with this energy. There are people who unfortunately manipulate this energy in ways that are destructive. And you will be forced to reckon with Ma'at. You will be forced to reckon with Great Mother when you do things like that. But on our side and how we work with this energy, again, is understanding the nature of this energy and understanding her different aspects. Because even with this season, if you are conscious and you move consciously within season, you can get a lot of your own inner healing done, both on a spiritual, psychological, emotional, and on a physical level. Very important. Now, how does this all work in terms of practicalizing it, right? This is my season. Sekhmet. I'm Sekhmet right here. And my own practice this season with Sekhmet is that I already have an altar for the principles, and she's going to be centerpiece on that altar. And the things that align us with Sekhmet, I think I'll help you with those so that you guys can, at least get that done. So things that align us with Sekhmet. Her color is orange, right? Her color is orange. Her metal is tin, right? Her incense is balsam. Balsam. You can look that up. Her perfume is civet. Her tree is juniper. And animals are cats. The hedgehog is also part of her animals. So any kind of cat. If you have a cat in your home, that's Sekhmet for you right there. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Sekhmet and armies, because in this current time that we're in, I really just want to focus on that. I'm going to probably do a series of videos where we focus on different aspects of Sekhmet in detail. Like I said, she's very, very deep, and there are a lot of gifts that she brings for us this season if we are able to. How can offer Oshun, the water deity? I don't understand what Oshun has to do with this alive. Sorry. Yes, I love cats too, by the way. Yes, very much a cat person. And, we know about cats and how spiritual in nature they are, which is why they have 9 lives. But that's a story for another day. We will talk about cats and certain animals that are highly spiritual. Cats, serpents, snakes, tortoises, and so on. I think I've done something, but we might go deeper on that. So let's talk about Sekhmet. Now, in ancient Kemet, before armies went out to do battle, and a lot of the battles that they were doing during that time are no different from the battles that we are faced with now. It was literally to do battle against the Neanderthals who were coming out of Eurasia. I quote a text. I'm not just saying that word Neanderthal because, but it says they were often doing battle against the invasion from Neanderthals in Eurasia. Eurasia is that area where the Caucasus Mountains is. So oftentimes before they went into battle, they had to go through certain rituals invoking Sekhmet to be with them and to protect them because she's a warrior. And the priestesses and the priests would do whatever rituals they were doing to strengthen this army and then send them out on their way, and they would come back victorious. So she is very important in terms of invocation over armies or by those who are doing battle. What does that say for us in this time we're in, where on the African continent we are seeing that there are armies who are bringing true liberation to the people? How can we assist these armies during this season of Sekhmet to achieve that which they need to achieve on our behalf? We can invoke her. When we do our private meditation or incantations, you can put these armies of the continent, you can even put the armies of the Black nation worldwide under Sekhmet power so that whatever it is they go and set out to do, they do. Now, here's something that Sekhmet has been misunderstood a lot. In fact, the way she's been written about sometimes has been nothing short of, she's painted as very sort of heartless. But I want us to look at Sekhmet from the point of view of justice. We know that to be in Ma'at, or Ma'at is justice, harmony, order, balance, and morality, and so on and so forth. That is Ma'at. That is the scaffolding upon which everything rests. Now, when you are not in Ma'at, her sister Sekhmet comes after you to enforce Ma'at, to bring about that balance. What does that look like? For example, if there is a certain group of people and they come and they take and they rape and they plunder and they steal and they colonize and they enslave, they have created an imbalance in the general cosmos. When Sekhmet comes to enforce justice, what does that look like? What is done on the left must be done on the right. I just want you to do the math. Let's just think through this critically and logically. In order for scales to balance, if you put a certain weight on the left scale or the left plate, to get it to balance again, what do? You have to put the exact same weight on the other plate to bring things into balance. What am I trying to say? I am trying to say, this is not a turn your other cheek type of justice. And Sekhmet doesn't operate in your we want peace, let's be nice sort of energy. She's not that. Sekhmet is the energy that says, you do this to my eye, I will do that to your eye. It's an eye for an eye. So to bring about balance, an eye for an eye, let's all be blind then. Then there's balance. You blinded me, I blinded you, we're both blind, we're in balance. Very different understanding of African philosophy than when you look at what the Christian philosophy or the Christian way of doing things has taught us, which is why we are still enslaved, why we're still colonized, why they're still stealing from us today. Because we need to vomit that toxin that has us moving around like useless, powerless sheep who are just waiting quietly without even uttering a sound to be. Because when sheep are led to the slaughter, they're not like goats. Goats will scream and shout and man, and butt you. Sheep don't. Sheep will literally say, okay, we're going there. Okay, I know where we're going. Yeah, I know my cousin's been there too, but you know what? I'll come with you. Okay, you want me to put my neck there? Okay. This is the energy we carry throughout the world, which is another reason why people don't respect us, because for so long, this is how we've been. How are the strongest, most powerful, most creative people on the world still in the position that we're in? So when Sekhmet energy comes, it is an energy you invoke for war. It is an energy you invoke for retribution. And it is an energy you invoke for revenge. I don't know who all told you that the word revenge is a negative word and we should run away from it. I know who told you. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Leave the vengeance to me. This found in a book written by your enemies so that you don't avenge yourselves. Do you see? So it's all trickery to keep you subdued, so that you don't bring out your rage. See, Sekhmet is full of rage. That's why she went on a rampage. She was like, you dare insult my papa with your nefarious ways? I'm coming for you. She went on a rampage. She was full of rage that they couldn't control. They had to give her something to knock her out so that she could calm down. So this is an energy of rage, where you need to get in touch with that inner rage and do whatever it is you got to do so that we can liberate the Black House. It's already happening all over the continent, family. That is why I love spirituality, because as these energies are moving in, we begin to see signs that this energy is around. The question is, how do you then harness this energy to push this struggle forward, to push it to its end? That is where your work as an individual comes in, understanding that you are connected to the rest of the collective. So your work is very important during this time. Right? So I just really wanted to share that aspect of Sekhmet today. There is a lot. By the way, yes, thank you, Jay. My assistant is always on hand. The Kemet Royal African Calendar is available online, family. It is available. If you go on my link here in my bio, you will see a link tree. If you go in the link tree, you will see GEK Diaspora. Actually, you may even see the calendar itself. You can order an e-book, which you get delivered immediately to your tablet or whatever it is. Please use a tablet that's compatible, because we've had problems with people saying my download didn't arrive. Then you can order this in paperback form. We have it now in 3 languages. 3 languages. We have English, we have Swahili, and we have French. For those of you who are in Africa, please go on gekmovement.org. gekmovement.org. That is where you will see a Zulu version. You will see an English version. That is where you get yours. Do not order from the GK Diaspora page, family. It is a nightmare to ship out. We are not responsible. The publishing company is responsible for shipping. So every time you guys buy stuff from that place and it doesn't come to you and you write to us, there's really very little we can do. Even the funds don't come directly to us, so we can't refund you anything, because what we get are royalties from this. GEK gets royalties from the calendar. We don't, so the price that's paid is not all coming to us. It goes to the publishing house first. So please, 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 just please make sure that you do things the right way. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys about Sekhmet tonight. I really want you guys in the season of Sekhmet to lift up Ibrahim Traore and his brothers of the Sahel Union over there. I want you to lift up Cote d'Ivoire, the Congo, lift up all our homelands. I want you to lift up the Black nation in the United States, the Black nation Trinidad Tobago, the Black nation Bahamas, Black nation Guyana. We are all over the place. We are all over the place. And this is the time to understand our spirituality so deeply that we learn how to work with these principles and these energies for our greater good. Knowledge is power. I kid you not. When you have this knowledge, you hold power right here. It is now up to you what you're going to do with that power. And if you are somebody who's still really kind of stuck in that Christian thing, I would say find a way to ritual that stuff out of your body and out of your psyche. That is part of the healing. You can call on Sekhmet to assist you to cauterize and burn that nonsense out of your being, so that you are able to realign with nature. All we do, all these energies and principles are nothing but natural laws, nature. And everything and how they are is confirmed in nature. That's all this is. So getting in touch with your divinity through nature, getting in touch with your divinity by understanding even what principle or energy you're born under. I understand myself very well because I'm Sekhmet. And before I even knew I was Sekhmet, I was always like this without knowing why I was like this. It then assisted to know that, oh, I'm a healer, but I'm also very fierce. I'm also very, when I need to go there, I will go there. So I hate injustice. Whenever I see or hear of injustice, I want to jump in and make it right. So these are characteristics of myself that I was born with, but didn't understand why I was this way. How many people have said to themselves, why am I like this? Because sometimes the characteristics that you embody are problematic to people around you. You can make people around you uncomfortable. But once you know that you are like that because you embody a certain energy, because you were born at a certain season where that energy was what was prevailing, it all makes sense and it all tracks back. So this is another way of getting to know yourself. The calendar is a lived experience. It is both a therapeutic tool, because when you don't know who you are, you're not okay. When you're not aligned with nature, you're not okay. When you don't know your purpose, you're not okay. When you're asking, what is the meaning of my existence? That deep existential question that comes at different times in our lives. Why am I even here? The calendar resolves and heals all that by making sure that season by season you are aligned with the correct energies, you are aware, you surround yourself with reminders of that energy, and you use that energy to push you further on in your path, whatever that path may be. The other thing I wanted to let you guys know is I've had consultations with people who have seen me for the first time, say on YouTube particularly. They watch one video, they book a consultations. Please don't do that. With due respect, because when you all come to me with like zero knowledge of anything, it is very difficult to work with you, because I spend most of my time explaining things that I have taught about. Here's what I'd say. If you're meeting me for the first time, please do not book a consultation. Rather, you can go on YouTube and you can binge watch my content, because a lot of the questions you come to ask me are things I've already answered. How do I connect with my ancestors? I don't know where to start every time somebody asks me that question, because I think in my entire life, I don't know how often I've had to explain it. I've taught it, it's there for the record. Somebody will ask me a question like, what is my purpose? I have already taught about that. Go through those videos. There are books now on the website. There are myriad publications on the website that take you through my teachings, but in written form. Pay a $40 to get your book and read that instead of paying me $200 to come to a consultation. I'm being serious, because for me, it's not about the money. But there are people who need my consultations for the deeper work that we do. There are people who need my consultations for some ancestrally difficult stuff. I would rather reserve those consultations and that time for those people. If you're simply coming to me because you want to say hi, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Because I've had that too. I really just liked you and I just decided to pay $200 and come and see you. Do a donation then. But remember, family, I'm one person. I'm one person and there are many of you. So there are people who literally genuinely need genuine help. So and I've even written it in my blurb, my automated message. I don't chit chat, family. I don't have conversations. You can't say, you know what, let me know when you're not busy so I can call you so we can talk. I'm not there. I don't have the time. I have a family to take care of. I have you guys to take care of. And I have a whole lot of other things that I need to take care of. So I want to apologize in advance if this comes across as, oh, you don't want us. No, I adore you and you know that. But I also want us to be practical, and I also want to make sure that I stay healthy for you all. So that when I come and I teach, I'm delivering things that are of value to you. Right? So go on there, get the books on the series. Some of you don't like to read. Well, I'd say, well, then binge watch and watch over and over again if you don't like to read. But the books are important because that is where I add the meat to what I teach. The way I teach and the way a book is written are very different, right? So on that note, I want to wish you guys a very, very good evening or good morning, wherever it is you're tuning from. And I will be back more with Sekhmet. We are going to maybe look at the role of Sekhmet in terms of what we call Sekhem, which is life force energy. Very important. So I will be back hopefully tomorrow, if my day is not too hectic. But otherwise, Black Nation, Sila, I love you, Black Nation. And this Sekhmet season, make it count. Like, listen, blow flames, right? Blow flames at that revolution. Just blow flames like a dragon, right? We want to topple this system. We're going to topple this system. By the way, I have something else to share with you guys. I shame. Ooh, this one is deep. But maybe shall I intersperse? Tomorrow, shall I come back with the deep dive and then go back to Sekhmet? I don't know. You guys will let me know. You'll let me know. This is going up on YouTube, by the way. So you can go and let me know on YouTube on the comments whether you want me to take the deep dive. Hey, guys, it's deep. It's deep. Or whether we do Sekhmet and finish and then I come with the deep. Jocelyn says, I won't be able to sleep. Tell us. No, if I tell you now, then I will have to teach on it now. It's not, we cannot do that. We cannot do that. But okay, I'll give you a hint. Okay, so that you come and be tuned in. It's about secret societies, cults, and vows. Sure. So, it's deep. And it's about that whole consent conversation we've been having. Sure, when you know what I now know during Sekhmet season, you will definitely be blowing flames out of your ears, out of your eyes, out of your mouth, everywhere. Yeah. So, I love you guys. Good night.